Live from a beach in New Jersey, it's America's favorite game show. Who raised these people? And tonight's first contestant, a television network with 30 years of programming, 100 million living room hostages, and one microphone on a beach in New Jersey. And look, I've got to tell you guys, I hate these types of segments. Normally, when you do something like this, you attract people that necessarily prioritize attention over education. And then you're getting them on vacation. Do you want to know when Josh is at his dumbest? It's when I'm on a beach, when I have no idea what day it is, when I last showered, when I last slept. And the only way that I have kept track of how many frozen drinks I've had is by keeping that giant stack of souvenir cups next to me at all times. The point is, usually, these shows are out there to just make people look dumb. Especially if Fox News can say, look how dumb this blue state is, or this is why we have to reform education, or they want to pump up how popular Donald Trump is among people who had a poster of Mike the Situation Sorrentino in their bedroom. So yeah, Jesse Watters Primetime sent a camera crew to the bastion of higher learning and advanced thinking, the Jersey Shore. And there they quizzed college kids on basic civics. And sure, the answers were carnage. They were asked to name Donald Trump's vice president. They gave them a hint that it starts with a J. And a student even answered, quote, J.K. Rowling. Vice President J.K. Rowling, everyone, that's probably even worse than the one we have now. Asked to name the three branches of government. Given the hint, quote, Jew. The same student went, Jewish? That's your judicial branch, folks. Shalom. Nobody could count how many people are in the Supreme Court. The First Amendment was nothing more than a rumor. And Watters posted the segment himself, bragging, quote, the answers somehow got worse and worse.
Vice President. I don't know. J.K. Rowling.
What is the Second Amendment of the Constitution?
The right to vote?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
You have two of them.
This is a trick question. I don't know.
Bear arms?
And I gotta tell you, the joke is not on those kids. Let's get that straight, because when you're getting ambushed in your swim trunks by a camera crew, that's not a testing environment that's controlled. Hell, yesterday I gave a zip code that I haven't lived in since 2006 at the pharmacy counter, and there was a line behind me. Sunburned 20-year-olds are not the villains of this story. The villain is the smirking multimillionaire that's hosting the show. Because Jesse, my friend, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, we can. Because what exactly is Fox News laughing at here? Americans who can't name the branches of government. Okay, well, who spent an entire generation making sure of that? Moms for Liberty, PragerU, Project 2025, all concepts and organizations that Fox News has platformed and promoted. And those organizations have spent decades strip mining public education, gutting civics funding, banning books, chasing teachers out of the profession. And then their favorite president took a chainsaw to the Department of Education itself and put the wrestling lady in charge. So no, Jesse Watters, you and your network can't spend 30 years replacing 8th grade civics with an 8 p.m. Pepsi boycott brought to you by Bill O'Reilly, and then expect to bring a camera to the beach and giggle at the carnage you created. Fox News Network, whose primetime lineup treats facts like they've got a gluten allergy. And they're seriously trying to quiz hungover strangers on facts. Jesse, your own network paid $787 million in a settlement over the fake answers it gave America about a voting machine. You do not get the red pen to grade someone else's homework on the beach. I mean, I guess it's Glass Network and enormous stones, right? I mean, I loved the irony in Jesse's own caption. He bragged the answers, quote, somehow got worse and worse. Somehow? Jesse somehow has 3 hours of prime time, somehow has a book deal, and somehow is you being associated with groups like the Freedom Foundation that has waged war on public education, campaigning against teachers' unions, promoting voucher programs, and trying to influence curriculum. Or you giving lectures for the Young America's Foundation, which seeks to promote conservative values on college campuses. But I thought they were supposed to be bastions of free speech. Because if you go look at your lectures, Jesse, even though they were supposed to be about how grand America was, they end up sounding more like a Trump rally by proxy or an advertisement for Fox News. What was that part where you talked about how capitalism has made sure that Fox News and Trump have been successful? What about the rest of us, Jesse? Now, comments, I've got to ask you, it's an easy one, no Googling. How many Supreme Court justices are there? You can drop that answer in the comments. But really, if you had this segment, if you were out there on the beach asking a bunch of hungover strangers questions, what would you ask? Personally, I would have asked them how much their cost of living has gone up since January of last year. I'd ask them what they think of the Epstein files or Iran. But really, I want to know what you guys would ask. And I've got to tell you, the real danger here is ugly, because you've got to keep in mind that an uninformed citizenry isn't Fox's punchline, it's Fox News' product. A viewer who can't name the 3 branches can't tell you which branch just got neutered by Donald Trump. A voter who doesn't know their First Amendment rights doesn't notice when they are stolen from them. Confusion is not a bug in this business model, it is their core demographic. And remember, Fox's own lawyers have argued in court that its primetime commentary shouldn't be taken as statements of fact. They filed that in court. And now this network is grading America on facts, even though they're the same network whose legal defense amounted to, come on, nobody should believe us anyway. The Beach Kids, they've never had a 9-figure judgment about their answers. And that's why I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the Ring of Fire, because our entire business model is the opposite. I want you to know more than I do by the end of a video. It's better for the country, and frankly, it keeps me sharp. And if you really like what we're doing here, consider becoming a member so that we can keep bringing you content like this day in and day out.